Hi, y'all. So we're gonna do something different today. We're gonna talk about a show that both of us watched together. This is my best friend Keisha.
Hi.
We're gonna talk about, and I'm Fo, if you don't already know, but we're gonna talk about the show Rap-ish. You know, not gonna curse because a lot of y'all aren't used to that from me. But
It's rap shit, y'all.
yeah. But that's the name of the show. But we're gonna talk about it, and both of us were English majors, and we can give a good breakdown, breakdown of something. So
we get in there.
Yeah, we're gonna get into political aspects, social aspects, but it's gonna be fun to listen to. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So, with us talking about the show today, we're going to talk about season 1 of Rap-ish, and season 2 of Rap-ish. But really, I wanted to focus on Shawna.
Yes.
I want to focus on Shawna as this character that really stood out to me. I mean, she's one of the main characters. Shawna is in an up-and-coming rap group with Mia. And the show has some similarity to the City Girls. The City Girls helped write it. It's an Issa production, so plenty of awkward moments. Well, I'm just saying, awkward black girl. Issa loves incorporating that awkward aspect.
We see a lot of awkward stuff more so in the character Shawna.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, you kept saying it, but now it's really...
Yeah, Shawna does some cringe things, but there's some things that really stood out to me. So I think the first thing that I want to start with Shawna is she even a human being?
Y'all, Shawna had her in a tizzy the whole time we were watching it.
Like, is this person even a human being on this show? With Shawna, so with the other characters, we saw their family members. We saw them being different aspects of them being at their jobs or whatever they call their jobs, their interactions with their friends. But with Shawna, it was just a very flat character. We saw little to nothing of her family. We didn't see Shawna's family until the first episode of the second season, and it was only a few minutes.
A very small fraction of the episode.
Yeah, we really didn't see Shawna's family. It's just like, is Shawna even a human being? And the reason why that irked me so bad is because Shawna, she really expressed a lot of elitist views, or she expressed elitism, like she was better than other black people, better than, for example, Shawna got into this big argument with Chastity, because Chastity at the James Harden party that they were working, Chastity had her girls there, or the girls that she pimps. And so the only reason why they were able to, part of the reason why they were able to perform at this James Harden event was because Chastity brought her girls that she was pimping or whatever. But Shawna was like, no way, how does that make me look? You make me look stupid that you're here being a pimp and I'm trying to be a rapper. But it's like, if it weren't for that pimping, baby, you wouldn't be rapping. So...
And this was after she had made a fool of them.
Yeah. I'm gonna get to that.
This was after.
Yeah. So I mean, but it's so interesting that Shawna was expressing that elitism. That how dare you be pimping such a low class thing? She didn't say low class thing, but such a low class thing at this event. While I'm trying to be a rapper and pussy pop. It's like, how dare you? And it's just like it's just Shawna just was expressing this elitism that makes a lot of. I noticed that a lot of black people, they really can't stand what they would consider bougie black people. They really can't stand black people that they feel look down on other black people when they aren't doing the whole respectability politics. When they aren't trying to look like they have no sexuality about them. When they aren't trying to look like they keep everything prim and proper 24/7. There are a lot of black people that they just don't care for bougie black people. And Shawna acts like a bougie black person, but on top of her showing these bougie black beliefs, she didn't act like a human being. She wasn't shown as a human being. It was a very flat, unlikable character. And I'm like, is Issa trying to make us not like a main character?
And it's weird that you say that because it is like she she's a main character, but it gives sidekick. Now that we're
so?
really talking about it, it's like, you know how you watch those shows and you like Batman and Robin, right? We know everything about Batman. What do we really know about Robin?
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's really giving sidekick, but and that's the weird part about it. Like, we're seeing Shawna as the main character because she's like, if I'm not mistaken, she's the first face we see on the screen.
Really?
In season 1, right? Is she like the first face
I think,
one of the first faces?
I think yeah.
So we already painted her as like a main character, but then as the season moves on, and as we go into season 2, we don't get main character energy. The only time we do get main character energy from Shawna is when she is being an elitist. When she is stepping up and saying, this is about me. You're like, oh, this is about her. But other than that, we don't know. This is not given that it's about Shawna because we don't know enough. Other than, you know, the criminal activity that we'll discuss later, we don't know enough about her to give main character. It's giving sidekick.
Yeah, and you know, okay, so I'm gonna set up the scenario now because I want to hear what you want to say. But when Shawna was going off at Chastity at the James Harden party about the pimping, Shawna had just embarrassed the group. Mm-hmm. So they had rehearsed. Shawna and Mia rehearsed the performance together. And so Shawna decided to tell the DJ cut the music so she can do a freestyle, a very conscious Talib Kweli freestyle in the midst of them pussy popping. You know?
Seducing and scheming.
Yes, in the midst of them just being on their hands and their knees popping and rapping about, you know, seducing and scheming, she told the DJ, cut the music. I want to talk about social justice. And it's like, what's going on here? So Shawna really went off brand for the group. That's a nice way of saying she embarrassed the heck out of them. And after that performance, and they got kicked off stage, they didn't even get a chance to perform all their songs because she went overtime with her little Talib Kweli escapade.
They say she was trying to be Eminem in 8 Mile.
I don't know. It was embarrassing. But after her little escapade, she decided to go off on Chastity. And it's like, no, but you just embarrassed the group, and y'all didn't even get a chance to perform both of y'all's songs. So what'd you want to say about that scenario?
I was saying that actually just remembering what you said. Like when she was fussing at Chastity about how could you bring your hoes up here, you doing work up here. Like, we're trying to be professional, this, that, third, build a brand. And you're like, this is actually on brand. Like, they're singing about seducing and scheming, and she got hoes working the party. Like, that's really on brand. And that goes to say that she was so wrapped up in her perception of what was her brand, which was her old brand, which didn't get her as far as she would have liked. Now, that's why you're in this new brand. Like, and that's really the gag. You're trying to act like you're above all of this stuff, but you started off as this conscious Talib Kweli type rapper, but once you saw that it wasn't going to get you where you wanted to go, you fed right into the seducing and scheming. Even though you feel like that's not who you are, you're pretty much on the same level. You know, Shawna's pretty much on the same level as Mia as far as anything for a check. What Coco Jones said, you would too for a check.
Yes, right. And so, you know, and she was talking about Chastity embarrassing the group. She just embarrassed the group. Embarrassed the group so bad. You know, but I just felt so bad for her because initially I was upset because I thought that she was I was upset with the writers because I thought that she was being portrayed as that bougie black person that's not even a human being that's deserving of abuse. And why do I say deserving of abuse? Because as a person that comes from a middle class background, I've noticed that sometimes some middle class black people sometimes aren't necessarily, how do I explain this? Sometimes with the friction between black people who are middle class and some black people who aren't middle class, sometimes words can be exchanged or actions can be exchanged where some black people will think to themselves, well, I can rob this person and it shouldn't affect you because you already got it. You got it. You can handle it. You're middle class. You well-to-do. You this, you that. You know, and I'm not saying that's the case for all black people who aren't middle class. It's certainly not the case. Black people are not a monolith. But what I'm saying is, I've witnessed that sort of attitude from some people where they're like, "You're better off as a black person. I can rob you. I can do this. I can do that. You will be fine." And I've also witnessed at the same time that attitude from some bougie black people where it's like speaking down on other black people, not assisting other black people who aren't in their position, thinking that they're better, you know, and so they're continuing or adding to the white supremacist structure that keeps black people without. So, you know, I've seen harm from both groups, but the dehumanization that takes place when people that come from certain backgrounds, they're like, oh, they're bougie, they're this, they're that, they're evil, essentially. They're evil. We can do whatever we want to them, they'll be fine. I felt like that's the way that Shawna was being portrayed, you know, but I was wrong about that. I watched it a little bit more, and I just realized that something really strange is going on where we just don't know anything about her.
And I think the aha moment for you was when we watched that episode back when they were celebrating their signing or them going on tour. And Mia's at this party with her family and friends, and Shawna is just with the boyfriend, or that's not even her boyfriend.
Maurice,
her friend with benefits.
Yeah, and then before that, she was hanging out with a snake, with Francois. Francois Boom. So when they were announcing that they were going on tour, Mia was having this amazing party, friends, family, you know, balloons, having a good time. You know, everybody's there, everybody's coming by. Shawna, you see this contrast. She's by the pool with Francois, and Francois is, like you said, manipulating her, filling her head up with different memories and stuff like that, so he can just try to, you know, use them to get whatever money or accolades that he wants. So Francois is manipulating her by the poolside, and then she goes over to Maurice's place and she hangs out with Maurice. But where's her family to help her celebrate going on tour, even if they don't agree with her rapping? Where's her family? Where's her friends?
We didn't see so much of a phone call.
Yeah, it's like she didn't even have any friends. It's like, what? That's so weird. You know, is there anything you wanted to say about that contrast?
Yeah, it's like you said, it's weird because again, it's supposed to be a main character, but that would have been a great moment for us to even see her, and even though they weren't getting along at the time, even her being included in Mia's celebration, or her being at a small little dinner or whatever, you know, her wannabe bougie self wants to do with her couple of friends or her family members. She has a younger sister. Like, we didn't even see a phone call or a text message exchange between her and her younger sister, or her and her parents. We just saw her meet up with the guy that she's been working with and scamming with, and that was that. It's like,
yeah, because even his scammy self got good family. He got a wonderful family relationship.
Because we even saw a scene with him having a big old party, right?
For him going to jail.
He going to jail, and he got a big
prison.
And he got a big old party, and Shawna got nothing. Like, we haven't seen a celebrate, and it's sad. We haven't seen Shawna being celebrated in a family environment yet.
Yeah, Shawna was so lonely. You pointed this out to me. Shawna was so lonely to the point where when people are texting friends and family or talking to friends and family, when she was on set somewhere, she's on her phone on the calculator, typing numbers to look like she's texting somebody. That's how dry her phone is. That's how lonely she is. And I'm just like, I don't understand. I hope the writers have a surprise for us, because I don't understand what they're doing with her character. What are they trying to tell us about this character? And then also, something else that really flattened her out is similar to Mia. She's very transactional. But there wasn't any compassion to level that out.
Right.
You know, Mia's compassionate with her child. Mia was even compassionate to Shawna after Shawna saw Lord AK set himself on fire.
And even after Shawna, it was another incident where she made sure Shawna was straight. Shawna on her sister soldier, as usual, was at a industry party, and Gat
Gat was going around being colorist.
So that was the situation.
Gat was asking women at the party different questions to see if they wanted to meet Lord AK or try to get them to meet Lord AK. So even if the woman answered the question right, or he showed favoritism. So he was asking the lighter skinned women simpler questions and things like that to make sure that they, light skinned and white women, to make sure that they'll be able to meet Lord AK. But the darker skinned women, he was kicking them out of the party. And so he got to Shawna and he asked her a question and she killed it. She knows her rap history. Asked her all the members of the Wu-Tang Clan and she killed it. And so he decided to humiliate her by spraying alcohol on her like he was, you know, jizzing on her.
Right.
Sorry, y'all. And you know, that was really, really humiliating. But we saw Mia show her compassion and make sure she was okay.
And they weren't even in a good space, if I'm not mistaken.
They weren't.
Like, personally. But she made sure she, like, left with her and checked in on her. Even, we saw a little bit more of... That was the one time we did see a moment with Chastity, because Chastity still slid him some drugs or whatever. And then she came out and she was like, "What are you doing?" It came back to the conversation of being transactional. Like, Chastity's like, you got to play the game to get what we want. Like, you can't go up and down with pretty much an elitist mindset. Like, you know what type of dudes you're in the room with. Play the part. And just don't say nothing. Like, you can't call out every single thing. So that was a moment with Chastity. I was like, okay. But then that was the only moment for real with Chastity that had me like,
Where she was, it's like she was giving into the way. I'm trying not to talk crazy, y'all, but it's like she was giving into the way nothing dudes. Let's just say that, or an acronym BAN. She was giving into the way,
or NAN.
Yeah, she was giving into the way those type of just nothing dudes think Chastity in that moment, and she was telling her, you gotta act like you got 3 brain cells just like them, you know. But I just. Shawna, just the lack of compassion, you know. So I remember at one point, you know, she was in one of the last episodes of the first season, she was showing off her money that she got while Maurice was in the background doing the hard work. He was trying to figure out how to move that weight, trying to figure out how to move those computers. He was trying to figure out how to move those computers that he bought illegally with the credit card information that Shawna helped him get. Because Shawna is a scammer. She was taking pictures of people's credit card information at the hotel and giving it to Maurice. Maurice would then buy merchandise and flip it, sell it. But Shawna had money that she got from Maurice helping her scam. And so she's on social media talking about seducing and scheming, because that's the name of their song. But she's showing the money while the scammer is in the background doing the work. Nobody could see him. He was behind the camera. But I'm saying that was very inconsiderate. So I'm sitting up there waving around money while you sitting there doing this work that can get you in a world of trouble. You know, it's just so inconsiderate. And to say seducing and scheming while the guy is sitting right there. I don't understand the
You
level.
said the mark is sitting right there?
I guess, yeah. Because I don't understand what type of sense, but I understand that this is supposed to be somebody in their mid-20s. I wasn't very smart in my mid-20s. I did a lot of stuff. I wasn't a very nice person in my mid-20s.
It was a time.
Yeah, when it came to dating, I was not who you want to run into in the mid-20s. But that's when I was mid-20s when I met Monday.
Right.
So it was mid-20s.
It was your early 20s.
It was early 20s. You didn't want to run into me. Early 20s, high school. My brain wasn't even fully developed. But yeah, so she was talking about him while he was sitting there, talking about seducing and scheming. And then, you know, I'm just like, how are you so dumb? You know, she's supposed to be so smart. And so that's...
Speaking of dumb.
What?
The gas station incident.
Oh my gosh. Shawna is so dumb. Like, when Shawna went to the gas station, she began to steal out of the gas station because he only had like $12 in her account. And she was hungry. Instead of telling Chastity, I don't have any money, I'm hungry, she goes into the gas station and begins to steal. And she wasn't doing a very good job at stealing. And then when the alarm goes off, when she goes through the door, instead of doing something that makes sense, she begins to freeze up and run, and she looks guilty. Luckily, Chastity had put a pair of glasses in her shirt and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I was looking at the glasses," and put the glasses back and made it seem like it was the glasses that caused everything to go off. But so she's a horrible thief. Shawna's a horrible thief. She seems very dumb.
And that was another instance of her being inconsiderate, because she just left Chastity to clean up her dirty work.
Yeah. So it's just like, and I feel like I know this as a middle class black person. I know the stereotypes about middle to upper class black people, and so the stereotypes would be that we don't have any common sense, and so we don't have any common sense, and that also that flattening where it's like not as human, or making decisions based on a white supremacist structure, which is true. I'm talking about making decisions based on white supremacy, like being bougie and saying, "Oh, those black people over there, look at you prostituting." So, yeah, I understand middle to upper class black people that think that way, and that's wrong. And also not having common sense. I understand not having street smarts at times, but the thing that really messed up her character for me is there was no nuance.
Yeah.
If she demonstrated that behavior, being an awful thief, being selfish and deciding to do her own rap performance on stage when they had practiced as a group, if she did those selfish things, but then also there was some dimension there that showed maybe why she acted that way, or how her family treated her, or just something about her. Even when her and Chastity were walking because their tour bus broke down, Chastity began to tell her life story about how she was kind of forced into pimping. Chastity was kind of forced into pimping, or even if she wasn't forced into pimping, this is the lifestyle she's leading now, and it's a tough one. And Shawna gave a little bit of her story, and it was a little bit of nothing. I don't even remember what she said.
I don't have a clue, and it was so insignificant. I don't know what she said.
Who is she? Or even when they met with Partisan Fontaine and helped them make a song. Partisan Fontaine or Party, he was like, he said, "So tell me about you two." And Mia told all her business. My baby daddy this, and I'm fooling with this, and I'm doing that, and I'm doing this, and you like, "Oh girl, give me the tea." You know what I'm saying? But then, it got to Shawna, and Francois was like, "She a scammer."
Right, and Shawna's like,
"I don't want to talk about my life story. I ain't got nothing to talk about." And it's like, who the heck are you? The most I know right now is that her mom is an immigrant. And I'm sorry, y'all, I'm a curse. Her mom is an immigrant. Well, let me not curse. Her mom is an immigrant and a butthole. Let's just say that.
Not a butthole.
Because how dare you? Unless well, let me put some stipulations on that. Unless your child has done something horrific, like stolen from you or something like that. But how dare you look at your child that's alive when they walk through the door and they haven't stolen from you, harmed you, or anything like that? How dare you look at your child that's alive when they walk through the door and you immediately share dissatisfaction with their presence? Do you know where your child could be? In the ground.
She about to be in prison.
Exactly, and so that was so upsetting to me. I'm not a parent yet. I understand that kids will do some things that will make people upset. But you mad because your child. I understand being mad because your child dropped out of college. I understand being mad about that. But I'm saying you upset to the point where, and it's been a moment since your kid dropped out of college.
It's been a couple years.
You upset to the point where you don't want your child to walk through the door because they dropped out of college. What's wrong with you? So you pushing your child to do God knows what.
And maybe that's what we're supposed to get from her character. There are some people that don't have anybody, and it may seem like you don't know anything about them because there's nothing they're willing to share because they don't have anybody. You know what I'm saying? I was reading a book, and she came from a background immigrant parent, and she wasn't the model daughter. So oftentimes she didn't share, even with her close friends or her boyfriend, she didn't share pretty much anything about her real home life or where she came from, her family. And it's because she just didn't feel like they were a part of her story. And so maybe that's what we're getting. That's what they're trying to convey with Shawna, maybe, that those people aren't part of her story, and that is why she acts so flat. Like there's no growth. We don't see any real growth because she's still in a place where she feels like she got to get it on her own, and she's the black sheep. Even in the group with Mia, she's in a group that she doesn't necessarily stand by the message. You know, that's not something she initially wanted to stand behind, but it's profitable to her. And she doesn't carry herself the same way Mia does. They have two different backgrounds. So again, that's her being the black sheep. Even in the, we broaden the circle and put Chastity into the circle. Chastity and Mia come from similar backgrounds. Again, we got Shawna being the black sheep. So maybe, now that we talked this out, maybe that's what we're supposed to get from her character. She's not supposed to be this dynamic character. Mm-hmm. We're supposed to see her as this person who is unsupported and is just kind of getting out the mud herself, which creates a sense of entitlement, and a sense of inconsideration, because she feels like she hasn't been considered by people in the right way.
Come on now. See, that's what we got from Alabama State University. From old mother dear.
Period.
That's what you get from going to an HBCU.
Yes.
No, but yes. Thank you. That was amazing. I didn't think of her that way, and I just hope that other people that view the show can have as much compassion and thoughtfulness as we're having when we talk about it. Because, like I said, I just get so worried about how we as people of African descent decide to perpetuate harm towards each other. You know.
And it's so interesting because you kept calling her like middle class, well-to-do background, but her character really has the makings of someone like Mia. You would expect the Mia not to have a family, familiar support, or to have anything stability. But we're seeing that in a woman that does come from a well-to-do background. So it's kind of like there certain aspects of their lives are, I guess, interchangeable or swapped out.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, because even the guy that was helping her scam, when he had the laptops, he was like, "You had me get all these laptops to pay your rent." Why she ain't got no? So because your child dropped out of school, they don't got no place to stay.
And he's scamming, but we see his family.
Yeah.
His family is helping him scam.
Oh, Lord.
You see what I'm saying? Like, she's doing everything by herself. Like, no familiar connection. The friends that she have are, like, probationary, for real. Because if she doesn't make this rap shit happen, who knows if she'll still have a relationship with Mia. She definitely won't have a relationship with Francois. Who knows, like, if Laura A.K.
I can't stand Francois.
Oh, we should do a whole separate video about that man. If Laura A.K. heals, what type of relationship she'll have with him if she doesn't, climb the rankings in rap. So, very interesting.
Yeah, I just, I appreciate them, everybody involved, Issa Rae, Young Miami, JT. I appreciate them creating a beautiful work of art with this show. Initially, I was upset with I walked away from the first season very angry.
Yeah, she was like, I can't stand.
I like the show, but I like the show because of the richness that was shown with Mia and Chastity, and I just loved them both so much as characters. But I was so, as a person that could identify to an extent with Shawna, I was just really hurt. I was like, what are you doing, Issa? Because Issa comes from a similar background as me, down to having one African parent and one American parent. And so I was like, what are you doing? How could you do this? But rewatching that first season and realizing how lonely Shawna was, it was very impactful, and it really demonstrated how, even though she has the trimmings of all this, well-to-do and had access to college, and like you said, at the same time, she still was without. She was without the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like she just went to her grandparents. Like, it wasn't like she went to her parents. It wasn't like she got into it with her parents and went to her well-to-do grandparents.
Right.
Or something like that. No. This girl is scamming and doesn't have the money to pay her rent. Why? When your parents have a home and you're willing to have a job.
Mm-hmm.
She could have worked. She could have went home and worked at the hotel. I don't understand. It wasn't like your child wasn't willing to work.
Right.
So, you know, it's just I'm happy that we rewatched some of that first season. I'm happy we got into the second season, and you know, sometimes Shawna is necessary. When she told off Rain,
Yes.
Very
necessary.
We needed a taste of that when she went off on Rain. And sometimes it seemed like her not having street sense is kind of a little bit gangster sometimes. when she stood in front of that lady with that gun, she was like, "Shoot me," and she fully was ready to be shot. I said, "Oh, this." I was about to say this person. I was about to say this crazy.
But Mia wasn't that mad because she got a child and she got something to go back to.
Oh, got something to go back to. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, we're not gonna hold y'all too much longer. This video is already 31 minutes. I hope that y'all enjoyed it. I'm so happy to have my best friend on the channel.
I'm happy to be here.
Yes. So I hope y'all enjoyed this discussion of Rap-ish. Please go and support. Watch the show. It's a wonderful show, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.
There's another part.
I'm so sorry. Y'all, not bye-bye yet. Watch part 1 over on Keisha's channel.
Keisha's Keys. KeishaSkeys. It's going to be on the screen somewhere probably.
Yes, please. Yeah, go over to her channel. Watch part 1. Go ahead and watch both parts.
Yeah.
Watch both parts.
And leave some comments. Let us know your thoughts. Do y'all think we're tripping? Or do y'all agree with this?
Yeah. I hope y'all enjoyed our synopsis and everything, and we'll catch you guys later on either of our channels. Subscribe.
Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.